And we're live.
Yay!
Yay!
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Okay, so what are we drinking, ladies?
I have a blood orange margarita.
Ooh.
Freshly squeezed blood oranges.
Freshly squeezed blood oranges?
Yeah.
Ooh, I like it.
That's what happens when you have someone that works at Trader Joe's and just brings random blood oranges home. So why not make margaritas out of them?
Absolutely.
Ooh, I need some
I
blood
have
oranges.
a mule. Stuff to make a mule.
Oh yeah.
I have. So I'll make it.
I like a mule.
So last week we did too many shots. Did you see our Instagram live? You did.
I did.
We were a hot mess.
Well, we did Taco Tuesdays and margaritas last week, and we had one of those pre-made tequila mixes from Costco. And between Kev and I, we just polished the whole thing off, and we're like, oh, this was not a good idea.
Sneaky.
Yeah, just like 2020, we ended it just like 2020. Drunk and a lot of info with no info at all. So
we were talking about at the bar, like now that everybody goes home and is their own bartender, they're gonna all have like serious tolerance. Nobody's gonna get sloppy. Nobody's using measuring.
Nope. Why not?
Well, this is the first Tuesday of the year.
Of 2020.
Welcome to 2021.
Yep.
Yeah. What did you guys do for New Year's Eve?
Stood home and I think we watched a movie in the backyard.
Oh, nice.
With cars and some beer. That's what we did. Yeah, we have a little backyard projector set up.
I miss California. You could only do that in California.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I would probably do it in New York too if I could, and just be bundled up with blankets in a fire pit. And
Ooh, yeah, if you can get a backyard though, or a yard.
Well, even right? Like patio, I would make it work.
Okay, that makes sense. A little bonfire on the patio too.
When people get patios out here, they go all out because not a lot of people have them. So they'll have like hammocks and barbecues and all that stuff. Just make the best of it.
Are you making a regular meal or any special type of liquor?
I didn't have regular. I was trying to make a Tito's, but when I came down here, I realized that we drank it all. So I used Mandarin Absolute.
Ooh. Oh, you have a Mandarin.
And
meal.
I went and got these like cute little TWA hotel. I don't know. So
to stir swizzle sticks.
Yeah, and they're like these cute little like.
I like it.
Vintage.
Super cute.
You gotta make it festive. You're at home. You don't have a bar. We can't go to tiki bars and stuff, and that's what I miss. All the like cool little swizzle sticks and the fire and the zombies. Ooh, yeah, I love a good zombie.
Yeah, we miss going to Trader Sam's out here at downtown Disney.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, we're missing a lot of places. Is there a lot of places downtown Disney? I haven't even been down there. Is it even open?
Downtown Disney, they're very open. But you just have to wear a mask like all the time. Like even I saw them like tell this little like 2-year-old, put your mask on when he's walking because they're strict about that. And then they opened California Adventures. So now you could go to like the Carthy Lounge and have drinks and food. And so a part of that is opened up. So you can just walk to certain like to Award Wieners and that little burger joint by Soaring Over California. That's all open. And we went probably the first week they opened. It was like maybe a 30-minute wait. You kind of just sign in and then they call you to come in and then you walk in and it's kind of cool. You kind of get that Disney feel all over again. And then you can still have a beer while you're there and have some good food.
Nice.
I didn't know it was open. That's great.
Yeah. Well,
but Trader Sam's is not open.
No, they're not open or the hotel. Everything else is closed. So they have like the whole downtown Disney. Before I went to the second lockdown, everything was open. That was patio wise. And, we'd go to Ballast Point and have beers. And as long as you order food, you get a drink. So I mean, but here in Orange County, everything's open here where I'm at. Like the restaurants are open. I think someone invited us to Brewery X the other day. And we're like, no, we're not going to go out tonight. It's a Sunday.
Wow. So do they make you, I know in New York, they make everybody, like, if you were to get a margarita, to get a second margarita, you had to get food again. Is it just like as long as there's food on the table?
Yeah, we have to have food. Like for even if not one drink, you have to order food.
We're kind of the same.
Yeah.
Where are you at? You're in Orange. Oh, are you in Orange?
So I'm right by Old Town Orange. Like it's a 5-minute walk to the Circle. Last night we went yesterday to get cigars, and there was a 3-piece swing band out there, just all decked out in their, their suits and playing music, and people are dancing and have their little patio chairs set up, and as they watch them, and as you walk by, all the little shops are open out there. So
it's interesting how you're like within the state. I mean, it's like that for us too. It's like you can be in Westchester and everything is open and people are partying, but then if you like drive 5 minutes over the border, there's like nothing. And it doesn't make any sense. I think that's the thing that's hardest for me is like I either think we should go one way or the other, but this whole like back and forth and for it not to be logical is I think where people get really frustrated is like, why can you get a tattoo but you can't get your hair cut? Like none of it makes sense. So that's where it's like, why? But also either just pick one. Like we shut down, cancel rent, or let people open.
My daughter lives in Santa Cruz, and she came down for Christmas, and she was just baffled. She's like looking around, and she's like taking like pictures and sending them to her roommates back home. It's like, I cannot believe everything is like 100%. It looks like it's open. Santa Cruz is like a ghost town. Like nothing's open. The boardwalk's closed. Her coffee shop is very limited to having people there, and you can't even like sit in the courtyard with a blanket and have your coffee. Like you have to leave the premises once you make your order. And she's just like, I cannot believe all this that I see here. So I'm like, well, this is, and where we say, well, this is Orange County, and
we live behind the orange curtain.
There's no rules for anyone out here.
I think they're just like, no.
Yeah.
Right? They're just like, no, we're not doing that.
100%. Everybody's just, no, there's too many people that need to eat and live and support themselves. They're supporting families. There's multiple employees that they're supporting. So it's not just them. They're not being stingy. They're not being selfish. They're just trying to help people survive.
Exactly.
People have to. They like, I think that's for out here. It's like nobody without unemployment. There's like a lot of people haven't gotten it. And it's like, what are you supposed to do? We were talking about the $600 stimulus check. We're like, so that just basically is going to go to the landlord. Like, cool. Thank you.
Well, I call it the couch change for the billionaire.
I was just walking this morning. I'm talking to my girlfriend, and I'm like, dude, I'm seeing more and more campers around, like RVs and stuff. Because there's like 3 of them in our little park area over here now. They just stay there the whole day. They leave at dusk, they go wherever they go, and then they go back to the park in the morning when it opens. So it's like these people aren't living in their apartments and stuff. They got a stimulus check, probably grabbed the RV, and guess what? I mean, you just pay for gas pretty much, or whatever else you have to put in the RV, right? So
is there
$600
you guys are like when this is over, I'm going to like do this? Because I think mine is when this is over, I'm gonna do some shit like that. Like I'm gonna get an RV and do like a cross country trip and like enjoy like 2 weeks of just the road. I feel like I wish I'd done, like we're not far from Niagara Falls. I've never been, it's like when this is all over, I'm like gonna be on the road somewhere.
Yeah, you want to do something other than sit in your house all day.
Yeah.
That's really good for you, Blue, because you lived in New York where it is closed down. I feel like here in Orange County, people are still going out. I mean, you got all the places, the camping sites and everything here in California that are closed but open, if you know where to go. So I feel like people are still they're out and they're traveling and stuff. I see all my friends, they're going to hikes, they're going to Arizona, they're going to Colorado, they're going everywhere. So definitely for you, after this is done, go on a trip somewhere.
Yeah. Actually, like you're saying, I could probably get in the van and just go drive somewhere, and Kevin could probably have to take time off, but me, as long as I have Wi-Fi, I could work from anywhere. And I'm fortunate enough to be able to do that. But I could just get up and just go drive somewhere and park a van at the side of the beach and just kind of hang and chill. And if I park near a brewery, I could just go get a beer there and bring it back to my little van and hang out. But
what do you do now? You need Wi-Fi, so you're still working. So what do you do?
Yeah. I'm a school nurse. So I'm like kind of, I guess, in the middle with everything. Like, I want people to have their livelihoods, and I want people to work, and I want them to make the money, and I want them to support their families. I get it, but I do want it in a safe way. Like, I want everyone to be safe. And I know it's kind of hard when people say, well, why is it easier to go to Target with the mask, but you can't do this? Like, I get that. I understand that. But yesterday was my first day back at work, and I start work either 7:30, 8 a.m. At 7:30, I got called. And by the end of my day, from 7:30 to 2:30, 3 o'clock, us district nurses for our school district called 62 families just from being back after a break from 2 weeks. 62 families with either positive COVID cases or exposures to COVID cases.
Wow.
So, and just this morning.
What grade is this? What grade is this that you're doing?
I'm in elementary, so I do TK preschool all the way to 5th grade. So, and then even today by 10 a.m., there was probably 16 calls that were made to families already with positive cases. So, we don't have on-campus learning at all right now. Everyone's distant learning. And when they did open up to do learning labs with 3 classrooms of just 14 students in it and 2 teachers, my school, we only had 2 classrooms of probably, between the 2 classes, there's only 12 kids that showed up. And even that was difficult because I've come to find out there was no communication between my office staff and me, because I'm only there to monitor kids with COVID symptoms. Like, if a kid says her finger hurts or she's got a hangnail, that's not my job right now. My job is to make sure no one comes in sick and gets anyone else sick. Then we found that there's 5 staff members who came in, 3 positive for COVID and 2 exposures just in that day. So, like I said,
how often do they test the staff?
They actually don't. We basically have to sign in and say we're not feeling these symptoms, but anyone can say, yeah, I could taste, I could smell, I'm not coughing, and still go into work. But if we have people coming in saying, oh, I think I had a fever yesterday, but I feel better now, I'm like, that's one trigger. You cannot be there. So, and then once they feel they're sick, they call risk management, and risk management takes care of it, and then they go from there. So they don't tell us we have to test. We on our own, like, say, okay, we're going to get tested just to, clear. Like right now, Kevin was exposed apparently to somebody, and he can't go back to work until it's a negative test. So, but like I said, from our point, district wise, it's hard. Like, I don't want to step foot on campus at all after being there for a week. I'm okay. And my supervisor's like, your job could be done from home, and you don't have to be on campus if you're not comfortable. Not to get too much into it, we have a union, so our union fights for us. But when we got into this whole pandemic thing, our whole union agreement got changed, and like my job title got changed, and all this crazy stuff happened. And we're basically like, we don't want to be on campus if it's going to risk us getting sick and getting our family members sick. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm like, thank God I could sit here. And Kevin, actually, I want to say an hour before my shift was over, he opened up a beer and he's like, here. I'm like, I'm on a phone call right now. You gotta wait. He's like, I know you had a rough day. So
I agree with you. I feel like I'm in the middle of the road too. Like, we should be supporting either one way or the other. I feel like we're kind of in that, like, send all the kids in, but then don't test, or it's like, it just, none of it makes it's like nobody's talking to each other somewhere.
Yeah. And the other part of it is too, I think a lot of the parents who struggle with kids who are having issues with sitting in front of a computer and working, I think about, like, those could be the same exact kids who will have the trouble in the school setting, who don't pay attention when they're in the classroom. So to me, I'm kind of like, it's either, it's either that or this, but I don't think you're ever going to make a parent happy. They just feel like, and that's where I kind of get frustrated. I'm like, you guys have to understand teachers do a lot for your children, but it's also a 50-50 thing where once they leave the school hours, it's your job as a parent to continue helping them with their education. So, but that's just how I feel. And that's my point of view of everything. So
I think that I totally agree with you.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's most people's point of view. I mean,
well,
you still have to take care of your kid. Like, it's not just the school's job. So
you'll be surprised how many people I know who have to deal with the homeschooling right now and the stuff they say. And it's just like irks me so much. I'm like,
Well, too, you got to think about it. These people weren't home with their kids that 40, 60, 80 hours extra a week,
Mm-hmm.
and let alone the longest period ever. Like, come on now. So, I get where they're frustrated at,
Mm-hmm.
but then at the same time, like, if we didn't have teachers and if there wasn't any school, you would have to teach your kids anyway. So that's what they did back in the day too, you still teach your kids. People do it at home school too. So,
and like you said, like if a kid isn't going to sit down in the classroom and want to learn like at home, hell no. So it's definitely probably, I always thought like, I don't know if I could sit down with like a teenager and be like, okay, like, wait, what? Like, I don't know how to fucking do this. Like, let's, let's call a tutor. Like, I mean, what do you even do? I don't even know what I would do. I imagine it's really hard. Like with my kids, they just color. It's like, all right, just pull this out and color. I'm like, all right, I can do that.
But once you get to English and math and history and all that other jazz, you're just like, what? I haven't done this stuff in how long?
Yeah. I'm glad I have elementary school kids. Like, I could never do middle or high school. I had to train at the high school when I first got this job, and I was just like, oh, I'm glad I don't have to worry about you high school kids. They just think they're invincible, and they could just hang out at the nurse's office like no big deal. I'm like, no, you gotta go back to class.
They all are like too smart. Like, it's like, oh yeah, I can do this. Especially I feel like this generation that are probably in school are like even more entitled, if you will.
Yeah. There was a kid, a high school kid, I think he was maybe a freshman. He's like, told the nurse I was training, she's like, hey, if I DoorDash some food, can you go to the office and pick it up for me and bring it to me? I'm like, no.
What? What? These kids nowadays. I swear.
Are we the last generation that got like spankings from our parents? Like, I was scared of my parents of like.
Oh gosh, yes. I was scared of my parents for
I think
long.
so. Yeah.
I don't think that nobody's scared of anybody anymore.
Well, because you have, nosy neighbors and people that will call, social service on you if you yell at your kid, spank your kid or whatever. So you can't do that. You can't do that to your kids. We used to get whipped by like belts and twigs and like everything, shoes, chanclas, like
phones, hangers,
so
everything. But now
phones, hangers.
Your kids are over. If you hit me, I'm going to call CPS on you. So it's like,
my kids know too much.
Yeah, but
yeah, I don't have any friends that hit their kids. Yeah, that's a very great point. We are the last generation that I think we got our asses kicked,
Yep.
I always say I'm gonna I saw this really cute video where she's like, I'm gonna papow you in the butt. So I'm always like, I'm gonna papow our kids in the butt, and Nick's like, yeah, right. Like, I am like not as, he's so cute, but he's a baby, so they're so cute right now.
Yeah.
One day I'll papow them in the butt.
Yeah, right.
Everything I thought about parenting is like, no. I was like, they're gonna have a good sleep schedule, and I'm gonna make sure that they're well balanced, and they're not bratty, and I don't give in when they cry.
Sucker, you sucker! Now you're wiping shit. You're wiping somebody else's shit.
Yep.
They got you on luck.
Wait till they become adults. It doesn't get any easier.
It's just a different kind of hard, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Like when they were kids, like for instance, for Christmas, it was so easy to do the Christmas thing. They give you a list, you're like, cool. Now that my kids are like adults now, 25, 24, 26, I think is their ages.
25 and 23.
Yeah, something like that.
She's like, they're out of the house.
They're like, what do you want for Christmas? And my daughter's like, I don't know. Maybe, can you give me some sustainable bags to use in my house, or, stuff that's very sustainable to the earth, like mesh reusable bags to go grocery shopping with, eco-friendly bath towels, like stuff like that. My son's like, well, I don't know either. So I'm like, I wish you guys were like 5, because I could just go pick up any toy that you would love. You'd be happy. Shopping than shopping for adult kids. But, they're great kids and they are happy with what they got. So
that's cool though. She wanted like sustainable bags, like recyclable, like good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, I mean, she was easy. Like we went to, every time we visit her, she's like, can you bring extra blankets and towels? Because I don't have them. And I'm like, okay. So then I'm like, let me just buy you a blanket you could use when your guests come over, and let me buy you a set of towels. So she got this big old box of just stuff for her house. And she's like, this is pretty cool, Mom. And she's like, and they're eco-friendly and they're mesh bags. And I was looking at this stuff, but I wasn't sure about it. I go, yeah, I really read every single thing on that label to make sure it was sustainable just for you.
Cute.
Oh, what a nice mom.
Yeah, they're still my babies.
Do you feel like they, because you're just very like cool and you're into a lot of cool things. Do you feel like your kids love that? Like, do you feel like they feed off of that, or do you feel like they're their complete own?
No, they do. Like a lot of their friends do consider me like their second mom. And my daughter does say, she used to say you're the cool mom. So we always used to joke, I'm not a regular mom, I'm a cool mom.
Yeah.
We are kind of at that level where their friends would say like, it's so weird, or her boyfriend said, it's so weird that the way you guys all interact with each other and you guys get together, like I've never experienced that with a parent. Like they get along with their parent, or, and with me being divorced, like they have divorced parents, but they're like me and my ex-husband get along very well. He will join us for, Christmas if we have him over Christmas. And he visits here from San Diego. Like he'll stay here at our house with us and hang out. And so we have a very good relationship. And Kevin really enjoys his company, and he enjoys Kevin's company. And everyone just looks at it and be like, that is so cool that you and your kids get along with a lot of stuff. You guys listen to a lot of the same music. You guys have the same views on things. And it's not like you're a parent, but you're also a friend to a certain level, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So they do get it, and like their friends notice it, and just like I can't be with like that with my parents the way you are with your parents. So I mean, we're very open with a lot of stuff, and I always, if they have questions, then especially with going to the divorce, if they had questions about that, I was completely open about that. My sister thinks I'm too open, but I'm like, it's a learning experience for them as kids. They're at an age where I was a parent and already had 2 kids in my belt, and I was married for, 6 years. Whereas at their age, I'm like, I can never imagine them getting married right now, because my daughter just graduated from college. My son is still trying to figure out what the heck he wants to do with his life. So, but I'm like, you guys are happy. You're making your own money. You guys know how to save your money and not get yourself into bad debt. Like, I'm happy for you. I did something right. But yeah, with the whole thing, like I said, we just all get along really, really, really well. So
that's really cool. You don't see or hear that a lot. The fact that your family dynamic like that is awesome, and that just teaches your kids, moral family value. You guys are your tribe, and no matter if you guys are divorced or not, you're still a tribe. He's the father of your kid. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's really cool.
And to see Kevin as their stepfather, we all just kind of crack up, because like, you're stepdad now.
I know. When did we get old enough to have like kids and stepkids? And
I don't know. I mean, if you guys would have met before, you guys remember like 10 in my total mom face, you probably would have like beat me with my little Gap sweaters and
Stop.
my
Stop.
old navy khakis, my little Karen hairdo. No, just kidding.
Okay, I need to see pictures. I need receipts. I need pictures. I can't picture you in like Gap and khakis.
This is before they would texturize your hair. So if you had like a short, cute little bob, it was very full at the bottom. So it's like, poof, almost like a mushroom. Like you had to really cut your hair. But my daughter's like, Mom, you were really in your mom phase there. Look at what you're wearing.
Yeah, I have really thick hair too, and it's like if you do anything like here and up, is very like, ugh, it's like a beast. You need someone to.
Oh yeah, beast. Come on, guys. Come on. There's like a net holding this thing back. If I didn't have a net on this, all over. I got my roots done yesterday, so that was nice. Yeah. When's the last time anybody got their roots done? Right? It's been a second because it's been since I think April for me. Roots really bad.
Do you redo your green on your own?
I did the green. Yeah, I did the green on my own. I went from red to green because I was just over it. I'm like either gonna shave my head or I need a diet. So I was like, I'm gonna diet.
Would you shave your head?
I at one point I was going to. I'm not
happy with. I mean, I don't know what my head looks like, but I feel like you either have a good bald head or you don't. Like our friend Kat, great bald head.
Oh my God.
Like
the best bald head ever.
This one, I feel like
has a great bald head. She has a good head too. I don't know the shape of my head. I would have to shave my head to see that. So we have wigs.
You don't ever just give it like a. So I feel like my head is like a pole. Like it just went whoop, like
oh, like a cone head.
No, kind like without the top cone. Just like it's like a nub, like a minion. I feel like if I shave my head, I'd just be a minion head. Like just
like a pill shape.
Like this way too, you know, like the whole.
Yeah.
So like I could never Britney Spears it, like ever.
Yeah,
no matter how off the rocker I got.
I was definitely at that point. So I went green. She tripped out because she didn't even think I was going to be able to go green. And then, so now I did that. And the roots were like, I mean, it was like half of my head. So she did a good job last night. I was there for like 5-6 hours though. So
we had dinner right after you got your hair green.
Yeah. Yeah, you did.
So it looked good.
Go from red.
Sushi. And you have red hair too.
Yeah, but now it's so hard. Like bleach is not my friend. If I try to go red, it will just eat at my hair and just no matter how much I know about safe products to put in your hair, it just does not lift. It won't do anything. That's why I kind of keep it dark now. And I mean, my hair's naturally this dark. I haven't touched it up for 2 months. Like I look and I can see my little gray in there. Have to hide it. But Kevin loves it red. I just told him it's just too hard. It just eats away. And I've worked with all the stylists that it just kills my hair. And I'm just at a point where it's healthy now. And this is the natural today. I just wash it and just let it air dry. I'm like, I don't do anything to it. Kevin loves it. He's like, I love it like that. I want it to get as long as yours.
This one, oh my goodness. Her hair is so long. It's so thick.
It's like solely because I just don't do any, like I don't take care of myself, basically. The only haircut I've gotten in like the last 2 years is when Nick cut my hair off. He did. And then, so we were joking about it because I was like, I need you to cut my hair. I'll show you how. Just like, you're just going to literally go, like, what's the big deal? So I was complaining. I'm like, I gotta cut my hair. I gotta cut my hair. So he like came and cut it. In such like a man way, like men are very like, if there's a problem, like just fix it. Like what's the, so he was like, and I was like, yeah, it's getting too long. It's getting too long. And he was just I wasn't paying attention. And he like came with scissors and he was like, bloop. And I was like, I mean, it was really long, so like it wasn't like it was messing it up or anything. So I was like, oh shit. So like when I put my hair forward, this half was like here and this half was down here. And I think I left it like that for probably like another month or so because I just
didn't care.
Yeah. Didn't do anything with myself. So but that was like the only time. And then he finally like went and cut it across just because I needed it done. But if I didn't do that, it probably would be like really, really long. It's just pure neglect.
I'm just gonna cut one side, leave the other side long. It's fine. Nobody's gonna see me. It's okay. COVID.
Well, the 90s
COVID.
where they have the asymmetrical haircuts.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
I had that haircut.
The Karen asymmetrical haircut.
I had my sister went to beauty school, so I was her model, and she's like, let me cut your hair. I'm like, okay. It was asymmetrical.
Remember when that was like that was like the thing, and the asymmetrical bangs?
Yes. Yep. It's all coming back. All coming back. I know my daughter asked me, she's like, Mom, do you think I could cut my own hair? I'm like, girl, I know how to cut hair, and I won't even try to cut hair. I go, so no, don't do it.
Yeah.
Cut your own hair.
I cut my own bangs last year, the year before. You remember that? Remember cut my own bangs?
I think it was a year before because I feel like your bangs are down here.
Yeah.
Now. Are they? How far are your hair? What?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just cut them off.
Yeah,
and then it was like, oh, that didn't work. So then I went shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter, and I just had to like. Then I think I called you. I was like, when I get to California, like, hook me up with bangs.
Yeah, that was a few years ago. It wasn't 2. I feel like that was
3, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, you're right. Because Vinny's 4, so yeah, it was right after.
Didn't Anna did your hair? Didn't Anna cut your bangs? Yeah, it's been a while.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You have to find someone who does good bangs because I am picky.
Well, you got the Betty bangs, so you have to be picky.
These are grown out. No, I've gone to so many people when I started getting them, and I've gone to a guy who was a barber, and he used the edger on my hair, and some people say it works. For me, it didn't work. He got the edger so close to my forehead that I went home like, he cut my forehead
the whole way across.
I was just cut all over with the edger. So I mean, I found someone new, but even still, I'm so picky that
you gotta go to Anna. She's like amazing.
Yeah, so I've been doing my own since we've been in quarantine. Like, I mean, I'm pretty good with them because I've been doing it myself for a long, long time. I'm so picky. I'm like, anyone could cut my hair. I don't really care. But when it comes to my bangs, I'm super picky. I'm like, I was cringy when she was cutting them that day. And I was just like, because I know some people like they'll hairspray them and they'll curl them. And I just kind of just flat on them. I don't put any product on them. I just, I wash them and I let them be who they are.
When I had them, it was like my favorite because I always looked like my hair was done, even when I never did it. And because it's like, I'm the get the lowest maintenance without being like a total slob. And that was like, you could just let it go. And it just looked like you had your shit together. And that was like one of my favorite hairstyles. The only problem for me was they grow so fast.
Yeah.
And I didn't have anyone out here that I knew. I agree with you. It has to be like somebody who knows what to do, especially because our hair is really thick.
Mm-hmm.
So it can get really like.
Yeah. Like I said, I've tried so many people who want to cut them and I let them cut them. Had some lady who kind of jagged them and I'm like, ooh. I went home and like straightened them out. Even if they got like short here, she just such a horrible job. I'm like, why?
Like, that's not what I said. That's not what it looks like. That's not what I want. Why did you do that?
Yeah.
Don't say yes, you know how to do it if you can't.
So I just don't let anyone touch them. I won't even let Kevin touch them. I'm like, nope. You can cut anything else, but do not touch my bangs at all.
At least you know how. That's good.
Yeah.
It takes actually to cut them. It actually takes me a good 30 minutes because I really examine them and look at them and do this and do that in the mirror and I'm like, okay, and put the comb down And Kevin's like, you're still in there cutting your bangs? I'm like, yes, they gotta be perfect.
That's like Matt's mustache. He's like, I'm sitting there watching him. He's just like, zzz, 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 like just going to town, making it all perfect. And like, come on.
He does have a perfect mustache though.
I mean, he does have a great mustache. So yeah, the whole, he's just like in it. I'm like, oh, he's like, this side's a little longer than this side. He goes and he does this. And I'm like, wow, it's like a process. So yeah, I get your bangs.
That's my bang process.
Yeah, it's on your face, you know. Everybody sees your face. If it's crooked.
Yeah. And then I also have like a cowlick under here. So sometimes if they don't catch it or they don't know, won't cut this enough. So then they look crooked. And that's when I have to, and they'll sit there and like, I'm like, oh yeah, kind of a cowlick there. So you have to, and this side's a little thicker on this side. So it's just, they're a lot of work, but I love them.
They're great.
Thanks.
Did you have any New Year's resolutions?
I don't make any.
Okay.
I just learned to not. I kind of just want to just, you know.
You learn not to because you don't go through with them, or?
No, because I always feel like resolutions are what everyone typically says they're going to do. And then me, I used to do them when I was like years ago, and I felt like I didn't really see a change. So I kind of just say, you know what? Although 2020 sucked, but there were some good points in it. I'm happy where I'm at in life, and I'll just keep going the way I am.
Did you have some, Dee?
No. The only thing is like just really just try to get out more. You know, last year I started snorkeling and stuff, so I just want to go do more like hikes, do camping, go to different places. Mm-hmm. You know, we have places that are open and don't require money, so why not just go and adventure time, you know? So that's what I just want to do. I mean, I'm doing what I'm doing anyways. You know, we're good right now. It's not like I'm on the street or, you know, starving or anything. So yeah, just keep doing me, work out, eat my food, you know, take my vitamins.
Yeah. Actually, I will take that back. My resolution is to actually finally get married this year.
Oh yes. But I mean, do you want the venue and everything?
Yeah.
But like, we don't even know if that's going to happen.
And then get stopped because of it? Or did you guys?
Yeah, we were married last October, but because of the pandemic, we postponed. But now we're both at the point where, I mean, I could go somewhere in Vegas, not like one of those drive-through chapels, but like, you know, is it the little Church of the West they have there? Like, that's my backup. Like, I could go there and have a nice little ceremony there with like a small amount of people and then, you know, do something later. But, you know, Stone's our venue right now, which we really want to do. So
I love your engagement photos.
Thank you.
They came out wonderful.
I love them.
We took so many.
Yes, you had to.
We took so many, and we had such a blast with them. I was like, oh, she actually took some of just me because she's like, the dress you have on just sits so perfectly. She's like, Kevin, move aside. Let me just get some shot of.
I love it. Yeah, so Stone's where you guys want to get married. Yeah, but they're not open right now, obviously. When are you gonna know if they're gonna start opening up for weddings and stuff?
Well, we're not due until October.
Yeah, but January is already over. Okay,
I know.
Like October's right here. I don't know what you're talking about, but Halloween's already here. Okay,
it's always here. But I don't know. If we could still do it and just like downsize as a guest list, which I'm totally fine with, we'll still do it there. I mean, I don't know how everyone feels about the vaccines, but now that there's a vaccine, if people get it by October and they're comfortable enough, then that's fine. I mean, I'm okay with that. I mean, I wouldn't be too happy with having people wearing masks and stuff, but it would basically be really probably close family only. And from my side, I don't talk to a lot of my, you know, immediate family. So to me, and I always say, well, you guys all saw me get married once. Do you have to see me get married again? So the wedding's kind of just like, I want to have the wedding, but his mom's just really super excited about it because his sister never did a wedding or like a whole ceremony. She got married at the courthouse. So Kevin's kind of her girl that needs that dream wedding.
No, she needs the dream wedding. Let's be real. She's like, I didn't get it with my other girl, so I have to get it with you.
Like I have like an Italian, like a New York Italian mother-in-law, and so she, they have like very elaborate weddings. So, I can't make decisions. So I like somebody just put it together and just tell me when to show up, but tell me like an hour and a half before I actually have to be there, and then I'll just get dressed and show up. But she like loves weddings.
Oh, does she want to plan mine? Ours is basically mostly planned. It's just now we're just waiting to like
have the venue.
Yeah, our cake is set up. We have the venue. We have our photographer. We have 2 florists that we're talking to. We already have my brother-in-law who's going to be ordained to marry us. So I have my whole wedding party. So we're basically set. We just have to wait until we go to the venue and do it. But we'll see.
So wait, did you already get married in like the courthouse?
No.
No? You're going to do everything all together?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But it's summertime and it seems like we're still in the same position we are now, then it's going to be something smaller. Like I said, probably Vegas, and just go from there. And whoever my main thing is my parents possibly there because I don't really get along with my parents. But Kevin's parents like totally, and then his sister, and obviously we're having no kids, so just the wedding party kids, but just something small. Like I would just want to do like 30 people. Right now our guest is at 106. So we'd have to basically slash that, which I'm completely okay with.
She's like, I don't care. Just you know what? Don't worry about it. I'll just have a party oh.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, I'll even set up our backyard. We have a pretty nice backyard right there. I'm like,
I mean, you might as well. You're really good at setting up stuff and you already know what you want.
I'll just get a taco man. We're having a taco bar at the wedding anyway, so why
That's what we're talking about. And I know a taco guy too, so if you need somebody, I got somebody actually.
Yeah. I mean, the cool thing is like if things start to open up again, then I can do the whole let's go look at free wedding venue stuff and get free drinks, and so I did a bridal show last year, and it was 100% free at the museum in Santa Ana. And it was like bottomless French champagne and, really good like appetizers. And we just went to town on those champagne glasses.
At the zoo in Santa Ana?
No, it was the museum. Bowers had one because you could rent that. You could rent that venue out for a wedding.
Okay. I'm at the zoo? I'm at the one monkey? I'm like, you can do that, but yeah, the museum over there, I get you. Nah, that's pretty. Wow.
So I'm looking forward.
You're speaking of vaccines. Are you gonna get the vaccine?
I probably will. Yeah. I mean, it hasn't been approached to us because we're not considered frontline, nurses right now. But
yeah. So I'm hearing some nurses are getting it, and some nurses, you guys are not though.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it yet, but we'll probably gonna have a meeting this week, and that's when we start discussing everything. But it hasn't been mentioned. My sister is not a nurse, but she just got the vaccine because she works at a nursing home. So she just got her first dose, and she'll get her second one soon. Yeah,
my hair chick, she said last night, one of her friends, she just got the vaccine. Oh, one of her clients, she was supposed to come in yesterday. Yeah. She ended up canceling because she got the vaccine. She wasn't feeling really well. Like, I guess she get kind of sick afterwards, like the flu shot or whatever. Exactly. So I'm like, well, I'm going to keep me posted on her because she works with elderly people too. So I'm like, let's keep a tabs on her and see what's up, see how she's feeling in like 3 more days or the next vaccine shot. Because you have to do how many? 2. Yeah.
I think it's like 1 dose and then 2 weeks later you do the second dose. But I have a couple of friends who are ICU nurses that got it. And I mean, they probably that first week it came out, by day 3 they had it, and they all seem fine.
They're fine. Everything's good.
Yeah, everything's fine. They didn't get the Moderna one; they got the first one, the Pfizer one.
Okay. Wow.
Are you gonna get it?
I don't know, man. I don't know. You know my luck.
I feel like really bad luck. I feel like I'm not jumping to get it, but I also feel like you know, if it like helps to get us over this hump, like I'm down to. Like,
I'm just allergic to a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm very sensitive to a lot of stuff. So whether I got a bug bite or even getting a tattoo, like you can tell the difference in my tattoos and stuff because they do raise a lot. I am part black, so I do keloid, you know. I'm very sensitive to things. Allergies are crazy. Food allergies are crazy. So I'm really scared. I don't know how my body is going to react to something that's so new, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, we're watching it, we're seeing how it is. And I mean, if you want to get on a plane and go somewhere, go to a concert, you're going to have to. So,
yeah. I mean, just do your research. I mean, when I was a flu clinic nurse, like I made sure to know all the facts about the vaccines I was giving. So if someone says, you know, I'm allergic to eggs, well, then they don't make flu vaccines from egg protein anymore. They basically made it in a laboratory derived from a cellular molecular thing, protein that they came up in the lab that replicates the flu vaccine or the flu virus. And that's how, you know, to me, I'm like, that's amazing. Science is just amazing, like what they could do. And right now, the new vaccine for COVID is not a COVID virus. It's basically most vaccines are not the actual virus, which people tend to not realize. They just think they're, you know, getting a shot of the virus, but it's just usually a protein that replicates it. And that's how they develop it. And that's how they come up with all these vaccines. You know, this one did come out a lot faster, but they said they've been working with that, you know, what is it? I always get the letters wrong. RNA or mRNA. So I guess been working on that for a while. So to me, I will probably most definitely get it. Like I said, just do your research, read up on it all the time. That way you understand it.
So like last week, didn't they just, I mean, they were on TV talking about how it mutated and everything. Do you think, how do you think this vaccine is going to work with this like newly mutated? What do you think?
If you look at different viruses, they're constantly gonna mutate.
They all mutate, yeah.
Yeah, all the flu. I mean, it's just something they're gonna have to work with, and they're gonna have to test it on this new strand when they do.
So then all the vaccines, they like retest them to make sure that they like get this new strain, and then if it mutates again, they just keep revising the vaccine.
So if you look at the flu shot, for instance, most flu shots will only cover 3 of the strands of the flu virus. If you ever go to the CDC website, there's multiple, you know, flu viruses out there. When they develop these vaccines, it usually covers 1, 2, or 3 of them. And that's what you're getting. That's why when people say, I got the flu shot, I got sick, it's either you have come in contact with somebody who already has the flu, or you got the flu that shot doesn't cover, if that makes sense. So that's why people say. And the only live virus that you get when it comes to a flu shot is the one, if you're afraid of needles and you rather it go up your nose, is the nasal one. That one you get a small live flu virus in your system. And that's why people will get sick. But a lot of people, like, I hated giving that because you basically have to go into another room and isolate yourself from everybody, give it to the person in both nostrils, and then you can leave because it's a live virus that you're having them inhale through their nostrils. I'd rather just give me the shot.
Yeah, give me the shot.
Is it for people who don't want like a needle? Or
like a lot of kids or who have the fear of a needle, like no matter how much you convince them, like it's quick, it's fast, it's not going to hurt that much. I mean, your arm gets sore, you go into a room and you separate them and you just kind of say, well, this is what you got to do. It's a little vial about this big, like kind of like a little tube. And then you get one side and you pop it and then you stick it up their nose and then you push it up and then you tell them to stop and then you push it up again and then that's it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I've never even heard of that.
A lot of kids.
Yeah, I hated needles when I was a kid. I always got pricked and poked and everything because everybody was always trying to find out what was wrong with me.
Well, don't have things wrong with you.
Wow. I never even knew that you could do that. It's crazy.
Yeah. We did that this year for the flu clinic that we sponsor through the district because we didn't want to deal with, you know, having to be that close to people and touching them and, you know, blood and all that stuff. So they actually only gave that vaccine this year up the nose. So.
In New York, they were, so I guess there's like a I don't know what it's like in California, but in New York, there was a shortage of nurses and doctors. So they were asking people who were like not in hospital settings to like come and volunteer. And then they're asking like people to come out of retirement or graduate early. Are they doing that in California?
I actually saw something about RN students who are going through school and doing their clinicals, if they want to volunteer their time. I mean, it's paid volunteer work, but they can do it.
Just I don't. They just need the hands, right?
Yeah, because I think they're saying in LA, like the National Guard's coming in and they're tending to sick people too. But I mean, I get job offers all the time through emails and stuff to work and double what my hourly rate is right now as a school nurse. But I don't think I really want to be that close to the front lines doing it. It's just too much at risk. Could you read? I think I was reading something about a big group of nurses in San Jose for Kaiser. Just, I think it was like 40 something nurses all got COVID in the emergency room. And their clerk, I think who works, she died from, or that person died from having it because someone wore one of those Christmas tree costumes that has like the little fans, those little blow up costumes. And they think that person who wore it either had the virus, and because that fan was going, kind of dispersed those particles, or they're not sure how, but there's like, I think it's like 40 something nurses that just got COVID.
Wow.
And
wow.
You know my sister Anna.
Yes.
She works at the hospital in Lancaster, and she was saying that like majority of the staff, like they don't test any of the staff. So if you do have it and you're asymptomatic, then you just work. But she was saying it's got so bad that they're not testing the staff, just because they wouldn't have anybody left. So they're kind of like working. She said like I have endless amount of overtime and it's just like pouring in these people.
Yeah, my mom's saying she walks into the break room and the ladies just look at her and she just feels so bad for them because they all have marks of all like the stuff that they have on their face for however many hours that they're working. They're all tired. It's just really sad to see. And there's no help. There's no help.
And I feel bad. I felt really bad for a while. I'm like, I feel bad that I'm not using my nursing license to the ability I possibly could use it. But then I think about it, I'm like, when I'm in my school setting, I am using it for, it's still being used. I'm considered a public health nurse. So, I mean, I'm using it, but I'm also staying safe at the same time. Because, I mean, like I said, if I go back on campus, I am still risking myself and my family getting sick. And who knows like how it will affect me or Kevin or my son, which, it's just too much. Like I said, I feel bad, but I can't help out. But
well, that's what Anna was saying. My sister was saying as well. She was saying that like a lot of people they go and they work with them, but then they bring it home and their parents were getting it, and like like family members were getting it, and to be honest, you'd be leaving like you're with your nurses licensing and what you're doing, you'd be leaving one good deed to do another good deed. And I feel like we need both. Like the school systems need these things because then like we're everybody's sending their kids to school or like trying to figure this out, and you need somebody to be able to kind of facilitate that at school too. So I feel like you are utilizing it.
Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I had to come to terms with it. Like I am doing the best I could as a nurse. But I mean, although I could double what I make with money right now, to me, that money's not important.
Your health is.
Yeah. I mean, as it is, I have my son who works for Trader Joe's. And then I have Kevin, who is still working. He has been working since we all went in lockdown. They both have. So there's a risk right there of me possibly them bringing it home. So why should we up the risk by all three of us, And we don't really see anybody at all. Just we have a small little group that we see, and it's not too many. So my son right now, he's too scared to go to work because Trader Joe's has outbreaks and they're not really doing what they should be doing. So he's just like, I'm scared to go to work. He's like, I don't want to go.
Again, it's like, it's that like, you know, like I think we need to either shut down everything and like relieve some financial pressure, or don't, or like, you know, like there's that like, you know, like, and I don't blame the places, because, you know, like people who are working at Target, it's packed, but they need staff. So it's like everything is a constant contradiction. And I think that's why we're just,
they might have it, but what are you gonna do? You can't close it down because they're essential. He doesn't want to work, but is he gonna be able to get off of work and get unemployment? No, because he can work and they're essential.
Yeah. Well, just like today we had a girl who her family all tested positive, but she tested positive, but she's asymptomatic.
Right.
So it's just, you just don't know. I mean, who knows? I could be asymptomatic and don't know, but.
I know, it goes back to like what Dee said, like, I don't have the kind of luck, like, you know, like, so, you know, it's like, I always say, like, if it's like you're like this huge field and they're like, there's 3 landmines on that field. All you people can just walk. It's like, yeah, like I could probably get right through it, but you know, like I could also be the person.
Get all 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be me too. I would end up on all 3.
You're like, dang it. Stop.
Yep.
These are very strange times that we'll talk about. I gave birth in an N95.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I forgot. Oh my God. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. It's just a very strange time. Like my son has never met another.
Any of us. Nobody.
He probably thinks that there's only 2 big people in the world.
Probably.
So,
I mean,
2 big people and a lot of people in this little
or if you
square.
do with people,
and then he sees me in this little itty bitty teeny
he thinks
weeny
everyone's
box.
like, everyone lives on a phone.
Yeah.
All your friends would live on the phone.
Yeah. It's just so bizarre.
Can you imagine giving birth in a mask at a hospital by yourself?
No, I couldn't imagine it.
So leading up, they were like, nobody can be in the room with you. So I was like having such bad anxiety just because I'm like, I can't do this by myself. Like I like mentally can't do this on my own. And then the week or 2 before, it was like coming up real close. And I had him 2 weeks early. So coming up on that, they finally let in the parent, but they had a COVID test. And if they came in negative, then they would let you, but they would only let you stay for this, like the duration of it.
Mm-hmm.
So he dropped me off and I went in and like, you know, my contractions were far enough. So they were like, we're going to take you. And then, you know, they swabbed my nose and you had the N95 on and it was like, fine. But like when I was actually giving birth, I was like, please let me take it off. Like I just it was just hot and it was like my breath and it was just like, I was like in so much pain. And,
you can eat without a mask, but you can't give birth
without a mask. That is so true.
So true. So, and it was like in the height of it. New York was just insanity. It was like just kind of coming down. So, the numbers were a little bit better. And so they like let him in and they were, got to stay. And like so I was like, please let me take it off. And they're like, no, you can't take it off. So, they all had like the whole gear set up. And then once I had him, they didn't check on us. I mean, I had one, so I already kind of knew. They didn't check on us. They like forgot to do his feet prints, and they forgot to like ask what his name was and fill the paperwork out. It was like they were like you're like keep that mask on, pop that kid out, and like peace.
Wow.
And I was out, I think, that next morning.
Oh wow, that's quick.
I didn't even have to stay.
They were like, get out. You got the kid, get out.
Yeah. Well, not everyone knows, but Kevin had to have surgery. Beginning of November, he was living 5 days with a collapsed lung and didn't know it. But right, that's when things start to open up. So I was able to see him. But even being in the hospital from 10 to 4 was like, it was so different than, you know, visiting him, where we had to still sit there in our own little room with the mask on still. He had to wear a mask unless they, you know, told him to take it off. So it's just, like you said, strange times, and it's just weird. Like,
You
just
have to wear a mask and your laps is collapse. Like,
yeah.
collapse lung, you still have to wear a mask.
Yeah. Well, that's what Kevin tells me. He's like, oh, I had a collapse lung for 5 days and wore a mask, and I had no problem. So you could wear a mask too.
That's what I tell people too. I'm like, I gave birth in a mask. But put that shit on.
Like, don't bitch.
Exactly.
Don't complain.
You could breathe.
He's like, I had no right lung and I'm wearing a mask. Why can't you?
Back in my days, we used to give birth in masks.
Exactly.
That's seriously, it's gonna be that's what we're gonna say.
That's the new one. That's the new. Back in my day, there was snow and I had to travel long distances. We didn't have any cars. I horseback road. Like,
we had to
yeah,
wait
no.
Get in stores.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I had a so we got those like vintage Fisher Price phones with like the and like in Toy Story, and it like the eyes move when it goes.
Yeah.
And we were like, he's playing with it and he thinks it's like the coolest. And we were like, nobody's gonna know what that was. Like nobody's gonna know the like shink, shink, shink. You know, like nobody's gonna know like pushing the buttons.
Yeah. Well, now that you say that, when I was at the gym, they're like, oh, you guys want to hear a joke? We're like, yeah. They're like, when you guys answer your phone, how do you answer the phone? Like, what is the signal you give to what millennials will give? And we're like, when you answer a phone, you do this. And then the guy's like, no, you answer the phone like this.
Not like this, like this.
Yeah.
Or even like this. Yeah, there's
like,
no.
Or you just look at your phone. Hello? I still do.
I don't even know if anybody knows how to tell time on a regular clock anymore, though. Some of my kids don't know how. I'm like, what time is it? And they're like, and they look at their phone. I'm like, the clock is right there. You couldn't tell time. Like, you need your phone.
I still have a clock that have Roman numerals, and my daughter has always hated it. She's like, I don't know what it says. I'm like, just count the numbers. They're right there. But I do have
what are those lines?
Yeah. I did have a teacher who told me that she told all her students not to have their phones out during class time. And she saw one of her kids pull the phone out, and she's like, what are you doing? She said, I'm checking the time. She's like, there's a clock on the wall. Why can't you just read that? She's like, because I don't know how to read that clock. It's because it's not digital. They're actual numbers. I'm like, seriously?
Yeah.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
We were talking about cursive the other day. Like, they don't teach cursive anymore, right?
No.
No, I don't think
on the phone. Everything's on the computer. Hey, sir. Oh, hey, sir, the chick that's on your phone, you know? Can you make a text and then you say whatever you say and then it sends it to you? You don't even have to type anything anymore. You just tell the phone to text it.
Yeah. My school doesn't do Pledge of Allegiance in the morning. There's like no
I thought that stopped like a long time ago, though.
I think there's some schools that still do it, but we don't have morning announcements or anything. I even barely hear the bell ring. Yeah.
Wow. Schools changed a lot. Like
sometimes
math, Pledge of Allegiance.
Sometimes the bell rings in my office. And I'm like, what is that noise?
This is us, guys. Back in my day, we stood up and we said, God bless America.
Yeah.
We don't do that shit anymore. Oh, man.
I used to make fun of my mom and she'd say, back in my day, I used to walk 20 miles in the snow. I'm like, it's California. It doesn't snow here.
It doesn't snow. Don't lie. Stop lying, Mom.
But you don't know. You were not that young when I was that young. I'm like, okay, Mom, you've walked in the snow. But now we could say, back in our day, you couldn't leave the house unless you had a mask on.
Yeah.
You couldn't buy cigarettes without a mask. You couldn't buy booze without a mask.
Back in my day, we used to have to wait a whole year to see what happened after the season finale.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We just binge
We
watched
had it really rough, guys. We had seriously a rough childhood.
I feel like we had the best childhood.
Yeah.
We are the last of everything cool.
Yeah.
So
drinking from the water hose. Did you guys still drink from the water hose?
Yeah, we did. No, what are you doing?
You have to
Why
have a
would you
filter.
do that? There's alkaline water now.
Or like the only way like you knew it was time to go home was the streetlights.
Yep.
Just being
I still do that. I still do that. You know why? Because nothing good comes after dark. Even when you drink, you go home when the sun goes down. You don't stay out. You day drink,
I can't day drink,
play
dude.
during the day. You have the best night's sleep. You go to sleep at 7 o'clock.
I feel like when the sun is up, like one shot equals 3. Like for some reason, I like have a smaller tolerance, and then there's more blacking out when the sun is out, and then I need naps more. Like that's why I can never do like day drinking beach or like poolside. Is I'm always like just like done, and that's it.
Well, I did a lot of that when we first went to quarantine. I put a hammock in my yard, did a couple email answers on my computer, did some Zoom meetings with whoever to do it, called some parents who needed to give me their vaccinations for their kids. And then by a certain time, won't say the time, I crack open a beer and go lay in my hammock. All right, continue working in the hammock with the beer right there, dog laying there, cats on the patio, my computer on my lap. That's what I did. I mean, I'm still kind of doing that now. But
I love California weather.
Yeah.
How cold is it over there?
Just be outside.
But Kevin wakes up, it's like, Shauna, it's 64 degrees in the house. We have to put the heater on. I'm like, I guess.
Oh my God, 64 in your house? That's no, it doesn't go under 70 in my house. No,
well,
we're not doing that.
We have a 2-story because our bedroom's upstairs because we have a 3-bedroom house. So we have our room upstairs is kind of like a loft. And then we have and then everything downstairs is hardwood floors. There's like really no carpet in here. And we have super high ceilings. So it gets really cold down here. So when we walk downstairs from being upstairs, it's like, whew, we need like a fur coat to be down here because it gets 64 is cold.
Very cold. When you came out, it was really cold here when you came out, right?
Yeah. We were there into January because it snowed the day we flew out. We cannot wait to go back.
I'm so glad you had such a good time. It's a fun place.
I want to go again. Oh.
Well, our friends still live out there. They live in Brooklyn.
What part?
I am not sure. I'm not sure.
It's like there's a neighborhood and then a town and then a county and then a borough, right? No,
yeah.
Borough,
we were in Williamsburg when we went out.
Oh, okay.
So they kind of lived around there. Actually, I think they lived outside of Manhattan at first, but now they're in Brooklyn because they started a family. They have 2 little girls. So now they have a little house. I guess, are they called brownstone still out there? So I think they have a brownstone in Brooklyn. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, we can't wait to go back. We loved the subway. We loved taking it to downtown. And although we did walk in a very windy day through everything downtown, and I mean, I wouldn't change it for the world. We just cannot wait to go back and spend more time there. But when I do come back, I am going to find you and we're going to hang out. Because we tried to meet up. It just didn't work with our schedule.
Right. And that's when people come, it's a lot of times it's you kind of try to fit. There's so much to see that you just try to fit a lot in. And it doesn't. It's definitely one of those places you can visit often, because there's just so much. And then you just don't ever do the same thing. It's you could eat completely different things and go to different places. And it's so big and there's so much that. But that is I've had so many people come out. They're trying to see, you're trying to get it all in, and it just doesn't always work out. But it's a very fun place, and it's really if you come in certain months, it's affordable. If especially if you don't mind the cold, it's not that expensive a round trip if you plan it accordingly.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever want to come in the summertime because I know the weather's really bad. It's really humid. I mean, I lived on the East Coast for 4 years. I lived in Virginia, so I mean, although Virginia is a really beautiful place to live because you get all 4 seasons, those summers of, and the, you know, being in the humid, hot summer, I didn't enjoy it.
That's the probably my least favorite as well, because the subways are just so hot, and there's like you know, like it's
muggy
building shade. There's just walking, because there's so much walking here.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much easier to bundle up than it is to just like sweat off. I mean, most of the time when I was working in the city and walking to work,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't wear makeup ever because there's no point.
It's gonna melt off.
Yeah, so it's definitely like winter and fall and spring are like the best times. I would say summer, but summer is super busy anyway. So I don't know why people. I mean, obviously because they don't have school or work or you know.
Yeah.
It's not even that enjoyable just because it's so crowded too.
Yeah, but Kevin and I, we like to go sightsee like random stuff like people don't know about. Like obviously, out of everyone we went to, we're the only ones that went to find the old like CBGB spot. Like we go and we find all these like little, like we saw like the Ghostbuster house and like we look at that stuff. Like we went to San Francisco.
Wait, question. Did you go on Nick's nifty New York tours too?
No, we make our own. No, no, we didn't.
So my husband, I always call him husband just because it's easier. But anyway, he knows all those places, so he'll take you and be like, "This is where Taxi Driver was. This is where." Yeah. So we always make fun of because he has like a really thick accent. So we're always like, you should just get paid to do this and honk at people and cuss at people and like cut in line and you know like
teach me how to get a bottle of water for $1 instead of $3.
It's like
we did partake in the beer drinking that they offer there. Is it Miller High Life they drink out there a lot? And we drank so much Miller High Life.
Beer shot combos.
Yes, we had a lot of those too. I think because I got there a day before Kevin did, so I was there with his sister and brother-in-law and his mom and stuff. And we just went out to like the bars close to where our Airbnb was, and we were just drinking like big tall boys of like Miller High Life and having like the shot on the side. I'm like, oh my God, I'm good. So when Kevin comes like at 5 a.m, he lands. He's outside of our Airbnb trying to get in, and we're all wasted and hungover.
Yes. You're like, good morning.
Still drunk.
You literally just left the bar because it just closed.
Yep. And we actually met some local guy there, like had us, I can't remember that bar we kept going to, but he like messaged Kevin like after a week we got back from New York, like asking how we're doing and stuff. But he would just like text and say, "Hey, I'm at the bar tonight. You guys want to come?" Yes. And we go and just
super nice over there. Yeah. Everybody's super friendly. Yeah.
Everyone, yeah. And we found all like the vegan restaurants that we wanted to eat at, and it was just cool. Like we actually were walking around like, we're walking here. We're trying to fit in. We got a taste of everything. We got a taste of a cab driver fighting the guy in the back of his cab by NYU. Like we got everything. We were just so happy that we were there, and we're gonna make another trip back out there. I'm like, screw the wedding. You just go to New York.
It's this very unique, fun place. Sometimes I forget that I live there. Like when people come out, it's like you get to do all those things and outside. Because when you live in it, you know, it's like you're kind of, it's like just hectic, and you know, it's like the road rage is real, and you're kind of like dealing with all of it. So it's like really fun when you come out, because then you get to experience all the fun parts of it, and it's a very unique, fun place for sure.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to go back.
You know what we should do is we should all plan a cross country and do like a caravan on Route 66.
I'm down.
Same here.
Do it. I think that would be really, really fun, especially after everything's done.
Yeah.
But question.
We should rent out like a Joshua Tree. You know that like camp. Do you remember when Ryan?
You mean Hicksville?
Yeah.
We were just looking at that.
We should all rent it and all go and hang.
Yes. Actually, you could rent that for a wedding for like $4,000. I'm like, I mean, you can rent the spot for $4,000, but to get the rooms, it's an additional price. But even still, I'm like, that would be a
but
cool
it's your
spot.
own, like, it's your own thing. You have your own people. Everybody has their own little trailers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Something to get everybody together that haven't been together in the longest time, just to see everybody and do something fun.
Yes.
Yeah, we need to celebrate in a big way.
Totally.
I think for me too, it's like the grind, the like daily grind. It's like, I think like I said, I want to travel. Like I want to do, like, just do it. Like just go to like this and like make trips and put some, I used to always put like, buy tickets with my tax return. So it like forced me to figure out how to save money. Or like like your Hawaii trip. It's like those trips are so invaluable.
Yeah. It was that, and then it was New York. We were on a roll, and then I was like, no, goodness gracious.
So like a chicken that you like hung out with in Hawaii?
Oh no, the whole island just has nothing but like chickens all around it. It's nothing but chickens around it. So crazy. Like the bus driver, his homie was the chicken. His chicken would get on the bus, ride with us to the next town, and he would get off of the bus. Like they're pets. It's pets. So you get up in the morning and they're on your lawn. Like they're just chilling. They're just hanging out.
That bus driver, he needed a bumper sticker that said "Chicken's my co-pilot."
And he named it. I forgot what the chicken's name was, but I mean, he knew him. He came up, the bus came up, and the chicken came straight up, came up. I'm like, what the hell's going on? But yeah, no, they're native to that island. Chickens.
What one?
Is it the same one that, what's the Hawaiian cartoon? The Disney Hawaiian cartoon?
Moana?
Yeah. You know how she has that chicken?
Yeah.
I think it's that same island.
I don't know.
It's all chickens that run around loose over there. They just run around loose.
I want to get a chicken. Or two
chickens.
A
raccoon.
A raccoon?
Okay. Girl, I got me every night. I got 3 raccoons that come almost every night. So I feed raccoons. I leave cat food out for the stray cats and the possums and the raccoons. I did try a bowl of fruit and they weren't too happy with that, so they knocked it off.
They like trash and crap, Matt, he doesn't like them too much. He had koi. He used to work at a pet store, so he had like turtles and like koi fish and all that stuff. He'd wake up, find one of his koi fish head, just like head off, body there, because the raccoons would come into his pond and they would take the koi fish and eat their heads, or like they came in and ate one of his turtles, or like, you know what I mean. So he's just like not fond of raccoons at all.
How do you eat a turtle?
They're soft.
Dig it out?
Yeah. Have you not? Raccoons are crazy, man. They're smart. They're not stupid.
Yeah.
So my mom had a raccoon, and the raccoon would like turn on the faucet and take a drink and then turn it off. Well, they didn't turn it off. They turned it on, took a drink, and then just like left it.
Well, your mom's in Tehachapi, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's known out there. I mean, the fact that we live in Orange and we have like raccoons, they're huge. They're like sizes of like small dogs, big fat raccoons. They just walk all over the place. I mean, I did have 2 baby possums that have grown up to be pretty big now, but the cat enjoys it because our front door is glass. So it has like the different little windows, and he looks right out and we have a big porch, and I put the food out there and he'll just sit there all night and he'll just watch all the cats that come and eat, and the raccoons and the possums. And then when he tries to get them, I can hear him pawing on the glass. So like right now he's sitting in front of the door waiting to see if anyone comes.
That is so cute.
Yeah.
These are my friends.
How long have you been in Orange? I love Orange.
We moved here last November. So we've been over a year now.
I love that area.
Oh my God. I'm in love with this area. I don't want to move at all. I mean, we're kind of like, we have a house in front of us. Like it's a big property. So there's a 2-bedroom house in front of us. And then there's our house. And then there's a bachelor unit attached to us. But the owners of the house, they're very cool. Like they're the parents of my ex-salon owner. So that's how I got in. And I mean, they don't bug us. They don't do anything. Like I have 2 avocado trees and a big old wraparound yard for the dog and stuff. So we're happy here. We don't plan on going anymore. So
the architecture is really great. The vibe is really cool. I feel like everybody is really respectful and nice and pleasant. And I love Orange.
It's old school. It's going up, you know, everything's, you know, kind of getting upscaled and everything, but it still has that old town charm. So
yeah, I mean, it could get pricey. Like renting out here could be pricey, but our owners, they kind of just keep the rent at like they don't raise our rent or anything. We kind of just stay at a certain amount, and they don't. I mean, I'm lucky they pay all utilities. We just pay trash and Wi-Fi. They pay for everything.
Get it? Yeah, I
Right?
wouldn't leave either. Yeah, why? So all the little like all the little shops, all the coffee places, all the little eateries are all open.
Yep, and they have their outside. But you have to have like we were walking through there yesterday. I'm like, God, that lady has a glass of wine that looks so good. I want to just sit there and enjoy a glass of wine with her. But you have to buy food in order to do that. Like, well, I mean, we could do French fries. I mean, we're not too picky on our diet, but there's a lot of places out here we can't eat from. I think the only place that's not open is like one of the ramen spots that we like. They're not open. But I mean, the flower or the nursery I go to and get plants from, they're open. I mean, we have like Blaze Pizza and all like Afters is open. The little shops little boutiques are all open. So the bars are not, like we have O'Hara's here and we have District Lounge and we have Paul's. They're all closed.
Okay.
But when Paul's was open, you had to like buy a slice of pizza in order to get a drink. Like they gave you like tickets. Obviously we wouldn't eat it because we don't eat real cheese, but we just had friends and like, here, just eat our pizza for us. I'm not gonna eat it.
Give me the margarita, you take the pizza.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's what we did. But yeah, so like I said, I try to just support all them. If I want to get food, I try to get it from like a non-big chain. If we want pizza, I'm not going to get it from Pizza Press or anything. I'm going to get it from our vegan pizza spot in Garden Grove. But if we want Mexican food, I'll order it from someplace out here. So
yeah, you got to keep the locals in business. That's all you have to do. Just keep them in business for this month.
I try to avoid going to big places to buy stuff because I really want all these. Like even my waxer, she's like, we're technically closed, but they're going to open. They're going to open. And I'm like, you know what? I'm still going to support you. So I was telling like all my friends who are stylists that don't, I mean, I'm fortunate that I have a backup job, but the ones that don't, like, I don't know how making it. Because I know stylists right now, it's really hard for them to even get unemployment because you're your own business. So, I mean, I feel for all of them. And I was just telling, I go, if I got my hair colored crazy or crazy colors, I mean, I definitely go to you guys and pay, have you guys do it, but there's nothing else I can do for them. I just feel bad for them.
But everybody's just kind of figuring it out and living on credit cards and, like trying to, I feel like it's going to be a long time until the things that we're doing and how we're spending to survive, we're going to see like the after effects of like, the cause and effect down the road, which is scary.
Well, with me, if I was the stylist, because I went through a divorce and I had accumulated so much debt from being a single parent, losing once one child turned 18, I lost that child support, moved to Orange County with no job and starting out as a stylist and then got a job as a server. I was living in Yorba Linda of all places. I was not making very much money. So I had to live on credit cards. So if I now, years later, still paying off that debt, I would not survive as a stylist. Like I'm like I said, I'm paying credit cards off that I can't just say I want another credit card because it's going to add to the debt I have and it's not going to benefit me in the long run. It's like, I would have no idea what I would do in my life right now. I would probably be super depressed.
That's all people are.
Yeah.
All right. We're still here.
Yeah, I think everybody.
We still have a roof over our head. We still have food and everything, so we're in a good spot. We're in a good spot.
I'm very fortunate and very blessed, and even if like I lose my income during the summertime because I am a school a school employee and we don't work during the summertime. And because of COVID, I couldn't work as a nurse because we didn't have summer school. So, I got unemployment, thank God. And then Kevin obviously was still working and he was working a lot extra hours. So he basically is like, he was, covering me too. But, I'm like, well, this is what married life's going to be.
Get ready.
It's going to be our married life. No, but, that's why I always try to see who needs help when I have it to help them. Like, I reached out to you and asked you if you guys needed anything. And
yeah, thank you so very much for that too. I really appreciate it. Like anything you guys were doing to help us. So it was really cool. Like coming down just for boards when we were boarding up the shop,
That was awesome.
Really cool. So yeah, thank you so very much for that.
So many more back there. I'm like, Kevin, let's just build like a small storage shed because they're huge, like super tall ones. Because we were gonna do stuff for Halloween, like gravestones and stuff, like just in our yard. And my dad brought all these plywoods, way bigger than the ones we gave you, Dee. And now they're just sitting back there. I'm like, we could kind of build like a small little shed or something and just store stuff in there because we don't have a garage. We have a small storage shed, but Kevin parks the bikes in there when it starts to rain and stuff. And right now with the 2 motorcycles, it takes a lot of space in there. So, but I'm like, we're going to start building stuff.
There you go. 2021, building stuff.
That's what we're doing. That's why I'm like, build me a chicken coop so I can give me some chickens.
Yeah.
Then I can give everyone eggs for free.
You know Amy Knox. We've been watching all her stuff. I'm like obsessed with her chickens. Like anything she does, I'm just like, wait, why are they eating this? And why are they doing that? And why do you have a fake egg in there? And da-da-da-da. She's like, yeah, everybody went from like partying and drinking to having babies and married. And I'm still over here partying and drinking.
Yeah.
She's like a amazing human because she like has a kid, she's like works out and looks super hot. She like raises chickens and like gardens,
grows her own shit.
Food. I'm like, she's impressive.
Yeah. That's someone I could look up to. I've tried to get on the bandwagon of working out. It's so hard to keep up with it. So hard.
So no, it's the 5th day I couldn't.
So I got a bike and I have gotten up to 3.5 minutes, guys.
Yeah, it's almost 5. Congratulations. That deserves a cheers.
Cheers.
Today I did 3.5 minutes and I was like jello-y. I was like, I need to work on this.
Well, Kevin's dad gave me a mountain bike. He's like, here, Shanna, take this bike. I found it, or someone gave it to me. I don't need it. So I was riding it on the trails right around here. But you have to be careful because our park here has a lot of like homeless people and it gets really iffy back there. But I was like, and Kevin's like, take your mace when you go bike riding in the daylight. I'm like, okay. So I was going like 5 miles, like on my bike and just coming home. And then my son decides to borrow my bike and he snaps my chain.
Oh.
But I'll tell you, when you get in your mid-40s, losing weight is not the easiest thing. So that's what I'm like.
It's already not easy.
It's not. I'm like,
thank God.
It's easy to gain it. And I tell people mine is all from drinking and drinking beer. It's not the fact that I eat bad food or I eat sweets all the time or I sit on the couch working with a bag of chips. It's because I drink beer and I love beer.
I'm not giving that up. So there you go.
So when I joined a gym, like for one of their workout things where you do it for 8 weeks, I like, it's not the fact that I do this. I'm like, I'm basically vegan, but I drink my beer and I love my beer and I don't want to give my beer up.
Yeah. What can you do for me?
How can you help?
I'd rather work out extra and have a beer.
Exactly. But today I'm having a margarita, so there's those days when those sneak in.
Yeah, exactly.
Kevin
I'm speaking of which, I'm out.
I'm out too.
Oh, I've been pouring. Hey. I was
wondering, I'm like, how did you get a full glass already?
I'm just pouring.
She's like, Come on now, stick with me. I got a picture right next to me.
I actually did a whole setup. Like, I'm like, I don't have to get up to go anywhere. I'm in my nice comfy chair with a soft little blanket here. And I got myself a margarita. And then I had a little pitcher here. So I'm like, I'm just going to sit here and just kind of pour.
I like it. I like it. After last week's episode, I told myself no more shots. Yeah, we're going to leave that behind us because I'm not embarrassed. Don't get me wrong. But like, how many people get wasted, record it, and put it on 3 different social media platforms? Nobody. So, no shots. I am doing a dry January, but there's a but there. Okay, I am gonna drink on Tuesdays though.
Okay.
But I'm only gonna have 1 beer.
Have you ever done a dry month?
I've never. Oh wait, I lasted 28 days.
Oh, that's a month.
But that was in February.
It's still a month.
I did. Me and Ingrid would do a month every year, and we never made it to the 30. We made it like to the 28th or 29th, but we never.
I feel like I remember that, and you guys, yeah, you would make it by like a day or 2. You guys would like miss it and then just get drunk. But it was still a month. It was still a month. Yeah. It was still a good. It was a good amount of days, you know.
We would always like get that close and we'd be like, we'd always like talk each other into it. We'd be like, well, there is this concert, and you know, like we pretty much did it.
Well, that's how I was today. I'm like, okay, well, we are doing the show, so I need to have a drink. Okay, I won't have any alcohol. I'll just have a beer. So I think I'm still good. I hate beer, so a beer is pretty good for me.
And you're drinking light. You're not really drinking alcohol.
Exactly. So I'm still dry January. Still counts.
Yeah.
You got this. I'll drink more for you, Dee. How about that?
You do that. Because after this month I'm gonna drink.
You should try to do some like different types of beer.
Like my one drinking day and my 1 beer have different types of beer.
Yeah, have like a blood orange or a pineapple cider, or like get like, or an IPA, or just
do that.
Go on a beer journey.
Yeah, I'll go on a tasting, a Tuesday tasting of beers. Got it.
I'm gonna hit all of the liquor in this area.
Yeah, I like your style.
I'm just gonna pick off all of them.
So today was Absolute Mandarin.
Today was Absolute Mandarin. Last week was a Black Velvet. The week before was Budweiser.
Yeah. So you're switching it up. You're switching to alcohol and switching to the beer. All right. We'll see how the next episode goes.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see when I like my brain sabotages myself, and then I'll go back to beer.
Yeah, we're just like, I think you'll be fine because we're not doing shots. But I mean, it is a shot. How much are you pouring in your drink? That's the thing.
She's just pouring. She doesn't measure.
You're not pouring. Yeah.
I just poured.
See, I can't do a dry month because Santa gave me a bunch of whiskey and bourbon in my stocking.
You have to drink it.
Yeah.
It's going to go bad. Go bad. You got to drink it.
Santa was very happy with you if you didn't drink his presents.
Exactly.
Yeah. You want to get presents next year?
Nope. I like my presents. Especially
yeah.
Santa did.
Well, thank you so much for coming on and hanging out with us.
First, I loved it. I had fun.
I know, I really did too. We're gonna we do like a live every time after. So this will air tonight at 7 Pacific, right, Dee?
Yeah, Pacific.
Yes.
And then we will be able to like review it, and then we'll go on, we'll do a live chat, and then don't forget to subscribe. Subscribing is huge. Liking is huge, apparently. Those are important things I've heard everybody say, but I never actually did. So now I'm like, oh, this is why.
Yeah, you gotta like it, you gotta save it, you gotta make a comment, you gotta do everything.
Do everything.
Yeah. So are you working on anything that you want to get out there, or do you want to say anything?
Me, no, just working on drinking.
Yeah, get it. I like it.
Yeah, nothing much, but it was good to be here. Thanks for having me as a guest.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much. We love you. Mwah.
Love you too. Bye, ladies.